Well, my life changed forever on December 8th, 2012, and I'll never forget that day for the rest of my life. I was in Mexico. I made what I would call a young, brash decision to climb instead of take 15 minutes to go get my keys. I was a young guy that was pretty confident and independent, and I thought I could climb up to get into my room rather than go and get keys that were just 15 minutes away. And all of a sudden, Robert McDonald, his life's changed forever. I fell back 31 feet, and I'm lying on the ground thinking, what have I done? And what I had done was broken 10 vertebrae, dislocated 2 vertebrae, broken 11 ribs, broken my scapula, punctured my lung, lacerated my kidney, and a few other things. But most importantly, I was lying on the ground and I couldn't feel my legs. And when you can't feel your legs, you know your life has changed forever. Long story short, I was taken to a Mexican hospital, then airlifted back to Pearson Airport, and then transported by ambulance to St. Mike's, where Dr. Ginsberg, a phenomenal neurosurgeon, did my surgery about 36 hours after my accident, which is a huge, huge point of why I've been able to have a miracle recovery, I believe. The doctors came in and my dad point blank asked him, is Robert gonna walk again? And the doctors can't say yes and they can't say no. Little did I know at that point that my chance of actually walking again was only 5%, as medically diagnosed by my neurosurgeon. Then I was transported to really begin my rehab and recovery to Toronto Rehab's facility, Lyndhurst. I wheeled in there and I walked out. I was there for just under 3 months as an inpatient, and we had 5 to 6 hours of physio every single day.
Yeah, and that's why it feels uncoordinated.
I was a very active squash player. I played rugby and I played hockey at competitive levels when I was younger, but contact sports were no good because of a bad shoulder. Now, I was getting so good at squash. It was my passion. I was loving it. I was gaining. I was beating players that were beating me, and when my accident happened, squash became a thing that I could not compete in. And that's a goal one day, but I'm no means there yet. And sure, it's in the back of my mind to get on that court and play like I did before. But what I found in running is that it's very measurable. And when you take your body a kilometer, whether you walk, whether you jog, whether you run, or whether you sprint, it's measurable in time. Or you can say you walked 1 kilometer, or then you walked 2 kilometers.
He keeps pushing his own limits, and you can see it in the results in his therapy and in his sport. He knows a lot more about what he needs in his own routine and how he can push his nervous system, because we're kind of rehabilitating his nervous system, not just his muscles and his bones.
My left leg is much stronger than my right leg, and has kind of been the workhorse. I went about 1.5 years with very, very little action other than going along with the motions in my right leg, but over time it's grown and built, and now it's active with my left leg instead of just along for the ride.
I went to my Facebook and to my friends and to my family and said, listen guys, I'm gonna do it. Join me. Come on board, let's run this together, even if you have done 10 before or you've never even done 1 race before. Let's get out there and let's get active, and let's raise some money for something that's helped me so much and can help others that, as I say, the next me. It took a lot more popularity than I thought it was. I thought we may have 20 people. Well, all of a sudden it was 30, and then it was 40, and then it was 50, and then it was 60. On race day, we had 72 people run the race. And I would say about over half of them were people running a half marathon for their first time. And that was pretty cool. That was pretty darn cool. And we ended up being a team I will, under my motto and phrase of recovering, raising over $73,000 for Toronto Rehab. It's something that not only I have gained knowledge and gained a lot of life lessons, but the people surrounding me, the people who supported me, my family, my friends, anyone who's really read about my story has definitely gained something from that. And I don't see it as a tragedy anymore. I see it as a triumph.